Did you apply for Niederlassungserlaubnis at Landesamt für Einwanderung, the Berlin Foreigners Office, but have not yet received an answer? Then this video is for you. My name is Mirko. I'm a German attorney at law, and I have handled hundreds of cases at Berlin Landesamt für Einwanderung. In this video, I'm going to explain what you can do if you handed in all of the documents at the Berlin Foreigners Office, but despite providing all of the information, did not yet receive an answer from there. Many foreigners, especially in Berlin, do have the same problem. Theoretically, they fulfill the requirements for Niederlassungserlaubnis. Especially as a blue card holder, it's actually quite easy to meet all of the requirements. You just have to pay into the pension insurance for 21 or 27 months. You have to prove the language skills, hand in an integration certificate or citizenship test, and prove that you're still in an ongoing employment relationship. For most of the skilled employees, those requirements are easily met. Also, the application itself is kind of easy. You just have to visit the website of the Berlin Foreigners Office, upload all of your documents, click through the online application, provide all of the necessary documents, and pay the fee online, and that's it. You have now successfully applied for Niederlassungserlaubnis. However, after submitting the online application form, you just wait. You do not get a reply for weeks, months and months, and at some point you wonder, is it about my application? Did I not provide enough documents? Did I not provide the information or wrong information? Why do I not receive an answer from the Foreigners Office? In this case, the first valuable information for you might be there is most likely nothing wrong with your application. The documents are right, you fulfill the requirements, and if you do not receive an answer from the Berlin Foreigners Office, it is not about your application, it is about the Foreigners Office being slow, being inefficient, being unreliable, and they simply do not prioritize settled permit application. And to a certain point, that is quite understandable because they have so many ongoing cases that actually require priority. So, for example, if you want to switch your employer, or if your permit ended, or you need Fiktionsbescheinigung, the Berlin Foreigners Office tends to process applications by priority, and settlement permit applications usually do not have any priority at the Foreigners Office. However, what can you do if you want your settlement permit application to be processed? As a lawyer, these cases are usually quite easy to solve if the requirements are still met. In the internet, you read a lot about Untätigkeitsklage. Untätigkeitsklage is a legal instrument that allows you to sue the government or the Foreigners Office if your application has not been processed within 3 months. And this is true for most of the settlement permit applications. In most cases, those applications have been handed in online, and then nothing happens for months, more than 3 months, way more than 3 months. So theoretically, in those cases, the clients are eligible for Untätigkeitsklage. But just because you can do Untätigkeitsklage, does it mean you should do Untätigkeitsklage? In our experience, the answer is usually no. There are way more elegant, way more efficient, way more cheaper ways to get you the settlement permit if you still fulfill the requirements. Untätigkeitsklage is more of an instrument if the Foreigners Office is not willing to process your application. But if you fulfill the requirements, it is not about them not willing to process your application. It is more about your application being stuck for administrative reasons. The Foreigners Office is, especially Berlin, especially the Foreigners Office in Berlin, Leer, is very badly organized. Things just get lost and clerks do not care, or communication between the departments is somehow stuck, or your application did not reach your case file or whatever. So there are several administrative reasons why your application is not being processed. You just have to unstuck your application. And that's how we do it. We request your case file from the Berlin Foreigners Office. The case file will be sent to us digitally by Landesamt für Einwanderung, usually within 3, 4, 5 days. We assess your case file if your application is actually registered in the system, if you have handed in all of the right documents, provided all of the necessary information. And if we think that your application is complete and that you're still eligible for settlement permit, then we send a letter to the Foreigners Office stating, hey, we think this person is eligible. We think all of the documents have been handed in. Could you please kindly process the application? And if your case really is just stuck and the Foreigners Office is willing to actually issue the settlement permit application, which is true for 90% of the blue card holders, then they will just send us a reply asking for updated documents, which means we have to hand in salary slips, your latest 3 salary slips, and proof that you paid your rent in the last 3 to 6 months. We request those documents from you, we forward it to the Berlin Foreigners Office, and that's it. Usually the next step is that the Foreigners Office will issue an appointment for the settlement permit. If you're still eligible for Niederlassungserlaubnis, if you still fulfill the requirements, if you still have your job and receive your salary, your case is most likely solvable with this easy method. 90% of the cases, of the blue card settlement permit cases, are actually solvable with an easy letter of attorney. This maybe costs you 1,000 euros attorney fees. This maybe takes 3, 4, 5 weeks. In comparison to that, Untätigkeitsklage. Untätigkeitsklage will cost you thousands of euros. You have to pay the court fee, you have to pay the attorney fee. Theoretically, you can do Untätigkeitsklage yourself. The Administrative Court of Berlin, Verwaltungsgericht Berlin, has something called Rechtsantragsstelle, which is basically an institution to help you handing in court trials at the administrative court. However, even if you do Untätigkeitsklage yourself, it's way cheaper then, but it's not like you hand in the application at the court and then your case is being processed within 2 or 3 weeks, and then after 4 weeks you have the appointment for the settlement permit. It is more like you send the statement of claim to the court. After 2 or 3 weeks your case is being registered, then the Foreigners Office gets a deadline from the court to justify their inactivity, which is maybe another 1, 2, or even 3 months. Then you get another deadline to answer to the statement from the Foreigners Office, and then at some point a verbal hearing will be issued, and at some point you get a verdict about Untätigkeitsklage. This whole process takes, like, if you're very lucky, 3, 4 months, if you're unlucky, 8, 9, 10, or even more months. Even up to a year is possible. So what is the takeaway? What did we learn from this video? If you want to speed up your application, your settlement permit application process at Landesamt für Einwanderung or any other Foreigners Office, just bear a few tips in mind. Firstly, make a complete application. Provide all of the necessary documents and information. And not more than that. If you're being asked for your employment contract, the Foreigners Office only wants to see your employment contract. No additional certificates or confirmations, no weird quality photographs or whatever, just your required documents. Secondly, if you, despite handing in all of the right documents and information, do not get a reply to your application, use the contact form. You can find the contact form on the website of Landesamt für Einwanderung. It is very easy to use. You just have to complete your personal details, and then you can send a message to the Foreigners Office. Just type something like, "Hi, my name is Didede. I have applied for settlement permit weeks or months ago, but did not yet receive an answer." If you did this maybe 2 or 3 times and you still do not receive any answer from the Foreigners Office, hire an attorney. However, this attorney should not immediately sue Landesamt für Einwanderung. They are usually, if you still fulfill the requirements, they are usually way easier, way more efficient and faster ways to speed up the processing. Request the case file, assess the eligibility and the documents which are in the case file, send updated documents to Lea, salary slips and proof that you paid your rent, and then send the letter of return to ask for the scheduling of an appointment. Then maybe just follow up on that if you still not receive a reply. With this method, as an experienced lawyer, as a law firm, I can tell you 90 or 95 of the blue card, of the skilled employee settlement permit cases are solvable. No Untätigkeitsklage required. I've done this, I don't know, many times, and the only cases where I actually sued Lea for Untätigkeit were cases where the eligibility was unclear. But in all cases where the eligibility is very clear and easy to assess, the Foreigners Office is usually willing to help. And if they're willing to help, your case is easily unstuckable. Did you like this video? Was this video helpful for you? Then make sure to like and subscribe. Visit our website, follow us on socials, and stay tuned for more immigration law content.